All right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special Elite 100 Mastermind. Tonight, we're going to be introducing Cody Harvey, one of Devin's business partners. These guys are partners in crime and connected, and a company called Breakout, which is it's just insane what these guys have done in such a short amount of time. I was so thoroughly impressed. I saw this presentation early in the week, and I wanted to bring it to you guys for a short window of opportunity here. So, Cody, if you want to pop on and share the screen, let these guys know what's going on. It's I'm just so impressed of where you guys are, the market share that you already have, where it's going, and kind of what the opportunity is. So take it away, brother.
Absolutely. Well, first off, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on the call tonight. So long story short, my background, I was one of the co-founders of Connected, which most of you guys probably all know. Devin, and that company has really taken off like a rocket ship over the last 4 years. And we'll talk a little bit how Connected plays into Breakout here in just a little bit. But about a year and a half ago, we started another company called Breakout Technologies. And essentially, it's a social network. So if you're familiar with Clubhouse, that's the closest thing that I can compare it to. However, it's a combination of Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, all of the platforms that we all use on a day-to-day basis. It's a combination of all of them. And I'll actually take you guys through a demo and showcase what it is. But the official launch for Breakout is October 1st. So just under 2 months away for that. To date, we've grown the platform significantly over the last 6 months. We're up to just over 1 million minutes of talk time on the platform, live audio talk time every single month. We've done right around 50 million messages that have been sent back and forth on the platform. So a lot of people are using it like a Telegram or like a WhatsApp. And without any kind of marketing push or any of the celebrities or influencers that we've contracted to help us go to market, we're just under 25,000 users as of today, completely organic, word of mouth. So with that being said, I'll share my screen with you guys. Tell me when you can see it, Brian.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So, our development team's been working overtime on making this the best platform in the social space. So you're going to see a lot of familiar features, and I'll kind of go through them one by one. So up at the top of the screen, you have what we call audio hooks. Add text, whether it's a link that redirects them to a website, a funnel, whatever it might be. And then you can actually record audio that goes with that text, right? So I could scroll through here. These audio hooks last for 24 hours. You can scroll through them just like you would on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook, and then they disappear, right? Underneath the audio hooks, you have what we're very familiar with, like on LinkedIn or Facebook, where you have the opportunity to create a status, right? So you can create a text status, a picture status, a recording status. You can share the rooms that you're going to be participating in or hosting. You can do all of that on the activity feed. And then you can kind of see what the activity feed looks like. So tons of activity already happening on the application, right? Like we have thousands and thousands of users that are using this on a day-to-day basis. I can like these statuses. I can comment on these statuses, right? I can like the comments on the statuses the same way that you see how Facebook and LinkedIn does it. We built Clubhouse, right? But none of them have, unless you're going there to.
Hey, Cody, can you hear me, bud?
Rooms. Is that better? Be educated or entertained. There's nothing really else that you can do on
the last minute was very robot. It was slowed down. It was very strange, like your signal was chopping up or something.
Okay, is this better?
That's better, yeah.
Okay, I switched over to my computer audio, so I'll still demo through the phone now.
Okay, but yeah, so the last minute we didn't really catch. We saw the screen, but your voice was weird. Good, thanks.
Yep, cool. All right. So basically what I was saying was the activity feed's there as a retention model. So unless you're coming to one of the other competitors' platforms to be educated or entertained inside of a live room, there's no real reason for you to actually be on the platform, right? There's no reason for a user to stay unless they want to jump into a live room, which is why the activity feed is so crucial here, right? And what's really cool is you already have proof of concept. There's already tons and tons and tons of users using this. So now I'll navigate over to the profile page. So at the bottom right, there's a profile picture of myself. I'll click on that and I'll navigate over to your personal profile page. On your profile page, you have a cover photo and you have a profile picture. You also have an audio bio. So you don't have to type your entire bio out in text. You can actually record it and share it with the world. If I scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see 3 tabs. You'll see upcoming rooms tab, activity tab, and then past rooms tab. The upcoming room tab is basically where you've pre-scheduled rooms out for the future. When people discover you on the platform and they like what you have to say, they can go to your profile page and see all of your upcoming rooms. Activity tab, just like you have a Facebook wall, right? This is essentially your breakout wall where you can navigate through and see all of your previous activity that you've done on the application, right? And then you have past rooms. So this is really cool. Where think of if you go to YouTube and you discover somebody and you're like, man, I really like that song or I really like that piece of content. I wonder what else they have. You can actually go to their past rooms and the ones that they've actually recorded, you can click on the recording and it will play back just like a podcast, right? And then the future of this is to allow users the opportunity to make money off of the streams, right? So that's kind of the thought process behind this wall here. So I'll let the app catch up. I know it's a little delayed. I think it's the service. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, we can, bud.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll just let this catch up. Now, up at the top right, we built tokenomics. So if you see that shiny B token there, if you click on that, there's an entire wallet that a user has, okay? So that wallet basically allows you to acquire what we call B tokens, and we incentivize users to do certain behaviors on the application, like invite people, host rooms, build a community. And for doing that, we give them tokens. And then those tokens can be leveraged to get discounts off of products and services with strategic brands that we're partnering with. And there's an entire wallet that basically shows you how you acquired your tokens and how you actually leverage those tokens. I'll go ahead and back out again. And then next to the tokens, you have a badge. Looks like a shopping bag. This is called our badge store. So we're partnering with different nonprofit organizations and companies. So think of like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? They have the pink ribbon. We'll put the pink ribbon badge in there. People can purchase that badge, and we'll turn around and donate the proceeds back to breast cancer awareness. And then essentially they're wearing those badges on their profile pictures. So it helps increase brand equity and brand awareness for the organization as they're in live rooms. I'll go ahead and back out to the home page once again. Now, in between the home icon at the bottom left and the plus icon, there's a calendar tab. If I click on the calendar tab, it takes you to a screen called upcoming rooms. And these are rooms that the community is already like built out, right? So they're saying, hey, like this one, coffee, conversation, and comedy. There's already looks like 10 plus people that are doing that room. And if I want to join that room and I want to be reminded, I just click RSVP. And then it tells me, hey, you'll be notified 10 minutes prior to this room actually starting. Up at the top right, there's a gray and white plus sign. You can click that. And this is how you'd create a pre-scheduled room. So you'd give it a title, you'd give it a description, and then you as the content creator can choose whether or not you want to give this content away for free or if you want to charge for it. So where it says premium room there, if I just toggle over, right, and choose in-app purchase, as a content creator, I can select how much money I want to charge for my room. So let's say I say $4.99, so $5. If 1,000 people jump in my room live, whether that's people I know or people I don't know, it doesn't matter. I just made $5,000 for the 30, 45, or 60 minutes, however long I wanted to talk. For however long I talked, I just made $5,000 because people wanted to get access to my content. You can also record your rooms, and then you're able to export these rooms out and you use them on Spotify, Audible, so on and so forth. So that's almost complete. Like the recordings right now are stored on your wall, but here in the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to export them out and leverage them wherever you want to leverage them. You would then choose between global, social, and private. And global basically just means that it's open to everybody on the platform. Social means it's open to only people who follow you. And private means that they have to have a special link. You'd schedule the room out, and then it would be posted in the upcoming rooms category and your profile page. Okay, so I'll go back to the homepage now. let's say that you wanted to start a room right now. You didn't want to pre-schedule it. You wanted to do a live room. Okay. You'd hit the blue and white plus sign down at the bottom in the middle. You would literally just give the room a name. So I'll go ahead and just call it Rocket. I'll put a rocket emoji here. And then I could add a co-host. So let's say me and Brian wanted to room this room together. I could add him. I could add an audio summary. I would choose global, social, or private. So for this room, I'll do private so nobody joins. And then bam, I'm inside of the actual room. Now you'll notice once the app catches up here, I'll wait for it on the screen. You don't see it on your side, do you, Brian?
I see the app, but it's like I said, it's running a little bit behind you speaking.
Okay, here we go. All right. So you'll notice that inside of the room, it's divided into 3 categories. Hosts and co-hosts is category 1, speakers category 2, and audience members category 3. Now 100, 500, 5,000 people could all join this room right now. And they'd all come up underneath as the audience members. And then me as the host and the co-host, we have the ability to pull them up to the speaker category. So think of seminars and conferences, but think of it done through an application digitally, right? So 5,000 people could join, listen to me talk about whatever they want to listen to me talk about, and I can pull them up and interact and engage with them, right? And so the appeal, especially in the beginning, the reason why we partnered with these different influencers and celebrities is because where else can people have that proximity to people of influence and people of status, like an application like this, right? So if you guys are familiar with Andre Berto, 2-time world champion boxer, fought Floyd Mayweather, he's a part of this rollout. If you're familiar with Edgerrin James, if you're a Colts fan, he was a Hall of Famer running back, played with Peyton Manning. He's a part of this application. Them and their friends are really kind of spearheading the push of this platform to get it to the next level. Now, while you're inside of the room, there's a chat icon up at the top. If I click on the chat icon, myself, the speakers, the audience members, we can all participate in this live chat. And the cool part about the chat is it saves after the room is done. So if you have 2,500 people in a room, there's no way you can talk one-on-one to every single person, right? But the entire chat saves so you can actually go back and follow up with all the people who were inside of your room. Next to the chat icon is a floating bee icon. Now, this is really cool because everybody on these other social networks seems to be an expert or a 9-figure business earner, and that's just not true 99% of the time. So we wanted a way for people to validate and verify information in real time. So we actually built our own search engine. So now we're not just a social media company, but we're also a search engine company. So if I click on the bee icon, the B stands for bee search, like research, and you can search out any topic in the world and it will pull it up just like Google. So just so you guys don't think it's scripted, why don't somebody other than Brian give me any topic or any term in the world?
Lenny, what's a good topic, brother?
Cryptocurrency.
All right, so if I type out cryptocurrency, I hit search, there's 93,842 search results. I can click on any of them and it will all pull up inside of the application. I never have to leave the app. And the cool part about that is the longer a user stays on the application, obviously the more money that the application makes because of the advertising opportunities. You guys, I don't think can see it on the screen right now, so I'll give it about 5 or 10 more seconds. There it is. Okay, there it popped up. So like the entire web page, everything pops up in real time. On top of building out the search engine, we also built out the ads dashboard for it. So the same way that you can run ads like PPC style on Google, you can actually run ads inside of Bee Search, right? So you can bid on search terms and topics to make sure that you're catching the very first of everything when people are searching. So I'll go ahead and exit the room.
Let me just pause for 1 second there, Cody, because most of these guys are investors in Contact Ninja. So if somebody, let's say Eric Worre's speaking and they bring up a search term on network marketing, we could have an ad so that everybody on the platform in that group sees Contact Ninja as a tool for the network marketing industry. So we're getting embedded. We already are. We have been for a while embedded with these guys, sort of cross promoting and linking up with Contact Ninja and Breakout. So I just wanted to make this group aware because most of them are also investors in Contact Ninja.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. We can 1000% do that. Right. So, you know, my main thing is like, I wanted a tool to help promote all of the products and services of myself and my, immediate network. And so Breakout is really designed for two reasons. One, I think that a lot of the social networking platforms are garbage because they kick people off, they censor people. I think the only way that you can find truth and what's fair is if you give people the opportunity to have open dialogue, no matter what side of the fence that they're on. And it's through that open dialogue that truth actually can be discovered, right? And so many people, because they see things a certain way or they believe in one thing or the other, they're kicked off of these platforms, they're censored or they're banned. So Breakout really believes in not doing that. And then the second reason is because obviously I love business development. And I think, what better tool to have than a tool like a social network where you can basically own the community and you can push your own products and your own services and the things that you want to be seen, you can make seen, right? So if I'm on B search real quick, I'll just show you what Brian was talking about, if it will catch up here. If I type out the word NFT, I already have a pre-programmed ad that will pop up. So I'll give it a second here. Oh,
I want to
there we
point
go.
out one thing too, Cody, because I saw a real demo of this. The latency that you guys are seeing is not in the app; it's in the Zoom.
Yeah, it's in the Zoom. Like I'm
This
staring
thing,
at the app
this thing
right
pops
now.
up the results like really quick.
There you go. So you see an ad that's running, right? So we built out an entire ads dashboard. The other part with Breakout is it's not just this platform, right? We're building out ancillary softwares. That's our core proficiency, right? Like our team is proficient in anything iOS, Android, desktop, Web3. I mean, anything that you can think of, we can build it. And so we've already built out technology, augmented reality and virtual reality technology that we will eventually roll out into this. We are going to be adding video to this. There's a lot of components that you guys don't see in the application. And the only reason for that right now is we don't want to overwhelm the users, right? There's something powerful about giving a user something they're already familiar with so that they can get conditioned to use it. And then slowly starting to roll out new things as you go and you continue to build the community. That's the 30,000 foot overview of Breakout. Other than that, I can show you my chats, like just to show you kind of how crazy the chats are. And I guess it's not loading right now for you guys. I'm looking at the computer screen. But anyways, that's the 30,000 foot overview of Breakout and where things are currently at.
Cool. Why don't you share with these guys some of the key differences from an influencer? Like, why would influencers want to come here and generate content? Because to me, that's one of the key things as an investor to understand.
Yep. So a couple different reasons. One, Clubhouse, if you guys aren't familiar with Clubhouse, they have a $4 billion valuation. Andreessen Horowitz is their lead investor. They got 10 million users. They're at a $4 billion valuation. With no marketing push, we're already just under 25,000 users, right? With absolutely no marketing push. So a lot of the influencers and celebrities left Clubhouse because they felt like they built the entire community and they didn't get anything for it. So what we strategically did was we went out and we found those individuals that were crucial in building Clubhouse, and we brought them over to our side. So some of the largest content creators on Clubhouse are already signed and ready to rock with Breakout come October. So that's pretty cool. Number two is there's no real way for content creators to monetize their audience. So they build the audience, but then they have to redirect that audience to other third-party applications or websites or whatever in order to sell their books or sell their courses or do whatever they're trying to do. On Breakout, everything's in-house. So you as a content creator, you can monetize with paid rooms. You can do partnerships with us with different brands. We have an entire influencer marketplace. So if you think of like Cameo, where you can go hire somebody to build a video for you, think of the same type of website where you can go look at different content creators and influencers as a brand and hire them to jump in an audio social network like a Breakout, like a Clubhouse, because it's not only exclusive to Breakout. We're just going to make money on it. So if you already have a brand that's built on Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces, they'll be able to find you on Breakout's influencer marketplace and pay you. So we're going to capitalize on the entire ASN space as a whole, but obviously be marketing Breakout while we're doing so, right? So there's a lot of different ways as a content creator you're able to grow and create revenue for yourself, which is the biggest differentiator.
Love it. Love it. Why don't you go over the opportunity where you guys are at, kind of in the middle of closing off one thing here and opening up a much bigger thing. So maybe, and also, I don't know, you had told me something about, where you guys are valued at, where you're looking to be valued at. So probably get into some of the numbers and stuff compared to, because I think we saw this about 8 months ago when you guys were
Mhm.
just in the infancy.
Yep.
No longer in the infancy.
No longer the embassy. No. Nope. Yeah, it's come a long way. So long story short, we raised our first round at a $10 million valuation. We raised that pretty much overnight. That gave us the capacity to go out and put together a world-class team, from developers to legal to everything that you can think of to really compete in this space, right? Because this space is a very competitive space. In order to win, you have to have the right people on the bus. Since then, since the platform started growing way faster than I anticipated it to grow, that we were approached by a couple different groups that were actually interested in acquiring us before we even launched. With that being said, I don't know if you guys are all familiar with what's happening with first and third party data, but third party data and the way that that's leveraged is going to completely change in the next year or so. And Connected is kind of spearheading that space, right? So everything Connected builds and everything Connected does is first party data, but it's very much B2B driven. And so some of the investors at Connected said, hey, it'd be really great to have a B2C platform where we could essentially mine this data and leverage things this and that way. We think Breakout would be amazing to fit up underneath the parent company Connected. What would it look like for Connected to actually acquire Breakout? So this is where the opportunity comes into play. Connected is actually signing an LOI as of tomorrow to acquire Breakout, which is super exciting, right? So guaranteed acquisition, considering myself and Devin, this all is confidential, but guaranteed acquisition that Breakout is going to get acquired from Connected. And we were raising $5 million for Breakout. The issue with that is I would be diluting myself and my partners and all of my other investors by quite a bit to raise that money, when in reality, we won't even need that money because Connected is so cash flow positive already. So the goal here is just to stand Breakout up underneath Connected and scale it that way, not go raise $5 million in order to take care of all of the miscellaneous things and clean the business up of where it's currently at, and to have enough in the tank in case we were to get another 50 to 100,000 users, which realistically could happen the way that people are talking about Breakout, because there is a pricing component that's involved. For every 1,000 minutes, there's a fee. So what I don't want to happen is Breakout scale too quickly between now and the acquisition, which is probably 90 to 120 days out, and then have to pause the growth of the platform, which is why I'm raising $250,000 right now. And then once that acquisition happens, the sweetheart deal that's on the table is the investor is going to get their entire principal back. They're going to have 25% on top of that money that they've invested just for doing it. And they're going to still have half of their equity still in the Breakout deal, right? So if let's just, for example, let's say that you do that. I'm just making this number up. Let's say it came out to 1%, right? You're going to, in order to buy that 1%, it was 25 grand. You would get your 25 grand back plus 25% profit on top of that 25 grand. Plus you're still going to have essentially half your equity in the deal.
So 12.5 in that example would still be, is it a warrant, convertible note, or stock?
I believe it's just stock. I have the term sheet I can send over to you. Brock's the one that
Okay.
did it. I'm not the legal guy. I just told Brock this is what I want to happen. I want the investors to have their money back. I want 25% on the money, and I want them to still have equity in the upside of the subsidiary company, which will be Breakout.
Okay. Yeah, if you could send me over that term sheet, really anything you have, anything that we can
Sure.
share, because obviously these guys are going to want to do some due diligence. But basically, it sounds like looking for 250K. What is the time frame between investment and getting? It sounds like, is it 125% of your money back?
Correct.
What is that time
So
frame?
that time frame, Devin's pretty confident. Like he's confident that the money for Connected in this round is going to be raised in the next 30 to 45 days. I'm more on the 90. I'm just telling people 90 to 120.
Okay.
It's going to happen before the end of the year for sure, just because of all the changes that are being made with the third party data. We already have a lot of the money in this round lined up. We're actually going to Florida next week and then Boston 2 weeks after that to finalize on a lead. So once the lead comes in for this round, then everybody that's already pre-committed their money can put their money into the round.
Gotcha.
Yep,
Awesome.
that's it.
Why don't we open up for questions? Any questions you guys have? All good? Must have been extremely thorough. Is there a minimum or blocks?
50K.
50K block. Okay. Awesome. Well, yeah, if you could send me over the technical stuff, because these guys will want that, I'll get it out to whoever's interested as far as the numbers of the existing company, the offer and the term sheet, stuff like that. I will get it out to them. And this it just sounds like this is a pretty tight window though, yeah?
Yep. Yeah. Someone just asked, the total raise is 250. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only 250. And the only reason why I'm raising that 250, I'll show you guys something else real quick. Telling you guys can see my screen.
Yep.
So one of the things that I did, because I'm a data guy, right? I like to be able to know everything before I move on anything. I hired one of the top strategic growth firms in the country. They actually did Bleacher Report. If you guys are familiar with Bleacher Report, they did their strategic growth plan before they were acquired for over 200 million bucks. So I've been working with this group for the last year, and you can see this is a 111-page document over everything that Breakout needs to do day by day, week by week, month by month, with a complete analysis on every single competitor and where the market is ripe to attack, right? And so some of the expense out of that 250 is cleaning this up with this firm, and then obviously having enough in the tank in order to handle any kind of massive growth spurt if that was to happen between now and time this acquisition is done. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys like where that money is being used and how it's being leveraged. To be honest with you, we probably won't even use the full 250. I just don't want to put myself in a position to need it last minute.
Is this document something you could share, or is this confidential?
If anybody's super interested in it, just sign an NDA with me and I will definitely send it 100%.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that when I went through this, I was like, holy cow, like so they spend 150K just on a market report to thoroughly assess the global market and launching something like this before they really went forward. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And so if anybody's interested, Ari, you have your hand up, bud?
Yes. Thank you for the presentation. It's very nice. What does the 250 represent in the overall percentage of the ownership of the company?
Yeah, I can get you those numbers. Let me see. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's at a $25 million valuation, which was what we opened the roundup at. But it doesn't really, in this situation, because of the way that we're structuring it, you're going to get the entire 50K back plus 25% plus half of whatever is remaining in the deal. So it's kind of a weird way to do things. But it's probably the most enticing tech deal I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions, guys? Anybody else? Just check this. Lenny?
Yeah, would you be able to put some contact info in the chat so we can get to talking to you about how we would actually use your business for our business?
Sure.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. Great question, because yeah, a lot of these guys, they have something that's ripe for social media. They're already on half a dozen platforms. So that would be really good for you and Beth. I didn't even think about that. We're pursuing this with the Matrix and Contact Ninja, like full force.
Yeah.
No, one of the things Cody said,
my email.
and I'll say this part. One of the things Cody said, imagine you knew Mark Zuckerberg before Facebook launched, and you got in at that level with somebody that had access to now 3 billion people. And obviously, we don't know if this will go there, but when you're in at this level with a social media platform that like absolutely crushes Clubhouse, they went to 4 billion almost overnight, 10 million users. There's a lot of upfront marketing and things you can get in knowing the owners. So that's some of the value I see in it.
One thing I want to show you guys is this Spotify case study, right? So this is part of the SGP. The amount of appetite, right? Just being transparent with you guys, the amount of appetite to acquire an ASN space, because it's a lot easier to buy it than it is to build it, is extremely high. So think of Spotify, which is, multi-billion-dollar company. They didn't want to build out Spotify Green Rooms, which is now Spotify Live. What did they do? They went out and they acquired Betty Labs, which is a way worse version of Breakout, for $67.7 million, right? And then they turned that into what is now Spotify Live. And so that's the opportunity we have here. There's two possible wins. Win number one is we just take this thing to the moon ourselves and leverage it for business development, figure out different ways to monetize it, run advertising, right? We're already averaging over 1 million minutes of talk time. There's already over 50, I think, million messages that have been sent on the platform. So there's time on the platform that we can charge for advertising right now. That's way number one. Or number two is we find an institution in 6 months or 12 months down the road that says, hey, we want to bring this in as a legacy player and plug this into our own ecosystem. By the way, we're willing to pay you XYZ for it, right? So the comps are already out there, whether it's Spotify acquiring Betty Labs, whether it's Clubhouse getting a $4 billion valuation.
Awesome.
And I put my email in the chat there, guys, as well.
Cool. Any other questions? All right. Well, Cody, I'll get this recording. Like, there's probably half the people aren't here because they had prior commitments. So I'll get this out to the whole group. If you want to send over the term sheets and stuff, and anybody that wants to see that 150-page document, email Cody, sign an NDA. It's very intense, very in depth on what they're doing and the research they did before they just did it. Keaton, you got a question?
Yeah, just what's the valuation at the 250K?
25.
25 million?
Mhm.
Yep.
Got it. And this is all speculation, obviously, but like, what do you? Clubhouse was at like 4 billion, right?
4 billion, 10 million users. Yep.
Got it. Okay, and we'll have half of that equity after the.
Correct.
Okay, sweet.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I talked to Brock, like, I can't sit here and pretend, like, lie to you guys and tell you how it's getting done, but he's structuring it to where it all makes sense to those terms, right? Like, there's a certain way that he has to do it, but he's doing it that way for you guys. So,
Thank you.
yep.
All good, everybody? All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bud, for popping on. I know this was a little bit last minute for you, but I wanted to bring it to the group in case anybody had interest. And I'm sure that's going to go pretty quick. So if anybody's interested, email Cody right there or get with me. I'll get the term sheet from Cody. We'll get it out to you guys. We'll get the recording out as well.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Cody.
Have a blessed night. Be well, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.